This is going to be the last video about 2025 I'm making, but I wanted to go out with a bang. So let me talk about 2025 as a whole. And honestly, it was a great year for me. Not just in terms of how much I read, but the community and the conversations that came out of it. A lot happened. And I want to walk through the year and show you some highlights and talk about a few books that I read that are in different genres, and then kind of talk a little bit about what I'm going to do in 2026. So let me start off with the book clubs and the reading communities that I moderate. Back in February, I started a book club on Fable, and it's called the Double Shots Historic Plots Book Club. The focus of this is history and nonfiction, and the first people to join were my sons. And we read the book, The Barn by Wright Thompson. And that alone made this worth doing. And by the end of the year, the book club has grown around 220 members, which still blows my mind. And right now, if you want to jump in and read with us, it's still early in January, so you're not that far behind if you want, but you can join us. We are currently reading The Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keefe, who is my number one favorite author. And I will read and buy just about anything this dude puts out. This is a reread for me. I read this last summer maybe. But the second time going through, I'm finding like there are so much details I missed the first time. And this has been a really great experience of rereading this. Then in November, I started another book club on Discord. Even though I started in November, it didn't actually start until really in January. And this one is called The Slow Burn Through History. And the first book we are reading is Battle Cry of Freedom by James McPhereson. Right now, there's like 17 of us reading this together. The goal of this book club is pretty simple. It is to slow down and really sit with the text, talk through it, and engage more deeply instead of rushing through it. And so far, that's what we're doing. We just finished Chapter 1. We're moving into Chapter 2 here this week. Again, if you want to jump in, it's still early. Both of these book clubs I have links to in my bio, so check those out. Alongside all of that, I started creating some content online. Back in January, I started posting to TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And I talk about the books that I read. I share some recommendations and sometimes connect books to some current events. I'm still, I'm a small content creator compared to most creators, and that's all right. Because right now, I am just trying to have some fun, connect with people, and it has been a fantastic experience. I have been able to meet some genuinely wonderful people through these platforms, and a few of them now I consider some friends. In June, I started a Substack, and it's called Perspectives of the Past. And again, it's gaining some traction. I've got like 87 subscribers right now, but I'm still trying to figure out how Substack works. And the one thing that I do love is that my writing is improving. I'm writing about the things I care about, and I am grateful for everyone who has chosen to read along with me. And in November, I made a Patreon account, but I really didn't do much with it in 2025, really at all. It was just mainly to follow different creators, kind of see what they're doing. But that is a place that I'm going to begin writing in 2026. I did make a link for that in my bio as well, and it is called History Lounge. And it's just an interesting place that I hope that you will like to come and join in. And it is free to join, and you can see the things that I'm doing. I'll be posting about the book clubs, book recommendations, all the things I talked about online, I'm going to be putting into writing. And that is an adventure that I'm pretty excited about. I set a goal in 2025 to read 75 books. And as you know, I posted this a few weeks ago. I didn't make that goal. I read 71 books. I came close. But honestly, that's okay. And some of the books that I read, they were demanding and they were larger. And I did try to explore a few different genres. And so I wanted to kind of share some of my favorite ones from each of these different genres. Each of these has a full review on my channel. This past year, I read several that were in the science fiction genre, but this one happens to be my favorite one. And this one is called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? This is by Philip K. Dick, which is a fast-paced, philosophical book. And if you love the Blade Runner movies, this is the book that inspired those. For fiction, it was not even close. It was Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. And just to recap, this follows two aging Texas Rangers on a cattle drive that turns into an unforgettable journey. The characters, the humor, and the quiet heartbreak that that really stuck with me. I love this book. I won't ever stop talking about this book. My favorite book for 2025. For historical fiction, I love The Women by Kristen Hanna. It follows a young nurse who serves in Vietnam and then comes home to a country that she doesn't fully understand what she went through. Now, this next book I want to talk about kind of bridges between science fiction and historical fiction. And that is Octavia Butler's Kindred, which forces a modern woman to confront the realities of slavery by pulling her back into pre-Civil War plantation. This one here is very powerful, and it is impossible to forget. Now, nonfiction is what dominated my reading throughout this entire year, and I had a lot of fantastic books that I read. I didn't DNF a single book that was of the historical nonfiction genre this year. This one is one of my favorites, but it is probably the one that actually affected me very emotionally this year. Challenger by Adam Higginbotham, another one of my favorite authors of all time. This one looks at the decisions and the warning signs that led to the Challenger disaster and shows just how small failures can build into something catastrophic. Now, if you were alive when this happened like I was, it is an unforgettable event that marked my generation, and this book brought me right back into a lot of those feelings. So finally, I want to talk about some of my goals for 2026. When it comes to reading, I want to slow down. I'm trying to be much more intentional about what I'm reading and how I interact with the text. One of the things that I am doing is journaling. Bought a nice journal. I've got some notebooks in here, and I am writing down my feelings, my some favorite quotes, to just like synopsis of parts of the book that really hit me. A lot of different things in here. I'm still trying to figure out exactly a system in which to really do this, but I got a really good start. Again, as it comes to reading, I am slowing down, and because of that, my goal is to read somewhere between 35 and 45 books this year. So it is not a super heavy, super fast paced reading, but I am going to slow down and really dig into these books. For social media, my goal is to become more comfortable talking about my books, improve my editing, and really do a better job of engaging with people who love to read just as much as I do. Because, again, I have made some really great friends. I have found some really interesting accounts to follow that have given me some really good book recommendations, and I want to pass those forward. For writing, I plan to keep doing it. I'm really having a lot of fun doing it. I'm going to try and be more consistent in posting on Substack, and starting this year, I'm really going to try and post just as consistent on Patreon. with more book reviews, recommendations, reading updates, reflections, just all the things that I think you might find interesting, that I find interesting. Overall, my biggest goal this year is to keep building and inviting community for people who love history, nonfiction. I have always wanted to find others who have these same interests, and I am honestly excited to see where this leads in 2026. Let me know down in the comments how your 2025 went, and how do you picture your 2026 going? Let me know down in the comments.